This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, let's have some fun. Let's talk a little racing with a new friend of the family now, Ryan Vargas. He is ready to go. He is locked and loaded after a terrific outing last week, by the way, as he finished 12th out in Atlanta. Congratulations to him and the Nelly Cars 250. And Ryan, nice job by you avoiding crash after crash after crash, my brother. Nice job by you. How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me this time? Are we good?
Yeah, no. Yeah. We got you. You're in your office. I like it. I like it. So how you feeling, man?
I'm here at the JD shop right now. We're getting ready for our race in Austin, Texas this weekend. Road course, first road course of the year. But no, it was fun. It's always good having KSDT on the car. I know they're a big partner on your guys' show as well.
Yes.
Just a super wild race, but it was pretty cool because we ran well inside the top 20, top 15 a majority of the race. It wasn't like a fluke finish, you know? It was like we ran there, and that was a good feeling to have. Honestly, I feel like the thing that kind of stinks is I feel like we should have more of those finishes this year. We've just had such horrible luck to start the year. So hopefully, knock on wood, that's the beginning of a turnaround in our season.
I think it was the power of the Big O Show sticker. That's, I'm just saying. I just, it was in the back end of that quarter panel. It's probably a little turbo boost coming out of that O. I'm just saying, maybe that's what it is,
Extra aerodynamics.
That's it, exactly. And let's not let the car people know, because then they might fine you or something for having the extra boost of the Big O Show logo on there. Now you got to walk me through this, okay? Because we saw it in what's that Tom Cruise movie where he's racing all the time?
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, which, by the way, I enjoy watching that movie. That's one of those when I'm channel surfing and I run into it, I watch it. So you have crashes, happening in front of you, right? So walk us through what you're watching, what they're telling you and guiding you through, obviously, because they get to see the big picture also. So walk us through that, because dude, this is just under 200 miles an hour where you're making these freaking decisions. So it's, it's split seconds, millisecond stuff that you're doing. So walk, because that's scary, man.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of crashes, especially ones that happened directly in front of me. That was a wild, wild race. But I mean, really what goes to your mind is this, because especially at a race like that, where it's essentially a super speedway race, for those who don't know, they restrict the power of the race cars so we don't, exceed 400 something horsepower. So the engines are tuned down. So everybody's kind of running close and tight in a pack. So, if one guy gets loose or one guy gets hit, it's going to most likely involve 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 other cars. So you have to almost keep your eyes on a swivel as you're racing. So, whenever those wrecks would happen, I'm looking not where I'm at. I'm looking 100 yards down the road, because I want to make sure that if something happens, I'm ready for it. So, you see these wrecks happen. My spotter, he's in my ear. He's telling me, wreck it high, go low, 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 like get down the track, try to miss the wreck, or just stop. Sometimes the track just gets so blocked, you have to literally just come to a stop to not hit anything. So you're just really making sure that you're able to avoid whatever's coming next, because that's what can really change the outlook of your race, especially if you get even an ounce of damage, because with how aerodynamic dependent some of these races get, you don't want any damage. And luckily we had not even a scratch on our KSDT CPA Chevy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was awesome, by the way. And you can check out his number 6 Chevy this weekend at the Pit Boss 250 at the Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas. JD Motorsports, of course, the car that sponsors him, and obviously his company there, and that's where he's at. You're in the JD Motorsports offices now, right?
Yes, I'm in the shop. The shop is based in Gaffney, South Carolina. And that's the cool thing too, is it's JD. We're a smaller organization, so like when we have days where we finish 12th like that, that's a massive finish. That helps out the whole organization. That gets everybody's spirits up, and that just shows what it's literally a David versus Goliath type thing. So whenever we do have partners such as KSDT, you guys, the Big O, like helping us out, like even the smallest deals help us out immensely. So
Yeah. By the way, I felt so bad for Bailey
oh yeah,
because he ran a great race too, dude.
yeah,
And it was just, I mean, the gas pump, brother. I mean, it's just like,
oh yeah,
I mean, if you crash or you get bumped and whatever, if there's an excuse, but when that goes out, that's got to be so frustrating for everybody. I would
yeah.
imagine, from the pit crew to the driver to you, obviously, because he's your teammate. And he was right there to finish with you, man. It's
Yeah.
just,
No, he did a really good job. I mean, me and him, we had a really good race together too.
yes.
For majority of the day, we were in front of him, and then late in the race, there he had a couple, real good runs, real good short runs where cautions fell his way. He was 2 or 3 cars ahead of me, and it was like, man, he snookered me, but it was just great.
That was a lot of fun. All right, so overall, what did you enjoy as we recap Atlanta before you preview Austin? What did you enjoy about the new track? Where were the adjustments and the quirks compared to the old track?
Yeah, well, the old track, it was super bumpy, super aged, much wider, and there was a lot of off throttle time. You weren't you go in go into the corner, lift, scrub some brake, get the car to turn. Now they, like as I mentioned before, they put a restrictor plate on us, as well as they took horsepower. They added banking, made the track super narrow. They went from I think it was 53, 58 feet to 40 feet in width. So I mean, really hardly any room to go 3 wide, and it turned into essentially a miniature super speed race, a miniature Daytona or Talladega. So instead of having to go into the corner and lifting and scrubbing brake, now you were not lifting at all. You were wide open the entire duration of the lap. And that was a new feeling for me because, I'm used to doing that on the bigger ovals. Well, now we're going to 1.5 miles, a whole mile shorter than a Daytona or Talladega. So you were on that ragged edge of control, and that was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. It felt to me just a really.
I love how you guys love. I love how you guys love more danger.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Well, we just like things that are hard to drive. I mean, the Xfinity series, our package and stuff like that, aerodynamics and motor package wise, we're one of the harder series to race in. I know the Cup Series, they just adopted the next gen car, so that thing's been a task for the drivers. But for us, the Xfinity cars aren't easy to drive. So there's not much to lean on. There's not much air to lean on. So
Right.
it's a fun car to drive, and it's a fun series to race in.
By the way, it seemed like the other positive was, okay, while the track was narrow, they seemed like they added more asphalt too and less grass. So when there are wrecks and you guys have to try to avoid them, you have more track to at least avoid it. Because once you go into the grass, man, you might lose it there and you might spin out and run into a wall or whatever. You have more grippable turf, in other words, to kind of avoid these crashes. So I thought that was actually really smart on their part to give the drivers the option to keep as many drivers, in the race as possible.
Yeah, the track was plenty wide for avoiding wrecks. There was a big wreck on the back stretch and on the front stretch, and we had a lot of ease getting past it. It wasn't a crazy situation at all, so that worked out very well.
All right, so preview for us now the race in Austin. What are we going to be watching on Saturday, my friend?
Well, Austin is a road course, so we're going to be a lot of shifting gears, hopping curbs, trying to make the most out of, trying to make speed out of a car that's designed to really only turn left. So it's one of the more difficult races of the year. I'm very excited. It's my first, time going to Austin. It's going to be a crazy race. Road course racing is always a blast. A lot of beating and banging and stuff. So tight, close quarters racing for sure.
All right. I love that. And for me, is how many road course races do you have under your belt? Is that something that you enjoy, or do you like to stay more in the traditional oval?
I love road course racing. It's a massive challenge. I'm not a road course racer. whenever
But you do a lot of you do more of that in the earlier stages coming up, right? You do some of that
I
stuff.
did
No,
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 I didn't.
wow.
And
Okay.
this is actually the most road course racing I've ever done. And the thing is, road course racing, I love it. Like whenever we haven't had any issues, we've run very well. Like my second ever start in Xfinity was on a road course, Road America in Wisconsin, and we finished 18th. Then I ran the Charlotte Roval in 2020, finished 17th. Mid Ohio in 2020, finished 18th. And even then, like there's other tracks where we ran very well, just had unfortunate luck, like Daytona Road Course. We were running 12th when we broke. Charlotte Roval last year, running 17th. So, for all these road courses we've done, we've had speed, we've shown consistency there. So I'm very excited to see what we're able to bring this week, because JD, our stuff's pretty solid on road courses. So I'm very excited to see how it goes.
So let me ask you something, because we got to be honest, obviously, because we root for you here on the show. Obviously, we're big supporters, but we know that JD Motorsports doesn't have the same kind of budget that Ty Gibbs has.
Yeah.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
And so, in road courses, is the difference in budgets and all of that, does that get minimized a little bit more? Is it more based on the driver here and not necessarily all about the equipment sometimes and some of the things? So it helps here in this case, how good of a driver you are might help you. It doesn't necessarily mean that the guy with the bigger budget is going to always win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, yes, you have to drive the car at the end of the day. Like, that is the number one thing at road courses. You have to be smooth, you have to be consistent, you have to know your shifting points, your lifting points, where you get on the gas, how long you need to roll. So there's a lot of factors there that definitely favor, drivers like myself and Bailey, have in our position. At the end of the day, the cream will rise to the top, you know what I mean? So it's like, the big teams are still going to run well. That's just it at the end of the day. However, the drivers can really step up, and I think that's the big thing there. Like, there's a lot of road course races turn into attrition. I remember Mid Ohio in last year in 2021. I was running 18th on the final restart. It was a 2-to-go restart. Drivers were taking me 3 and 4 wide, and you know what I did? I just lifted. I let them take it. I was like, go ahead, take it. I don't care, because 2 corners later, they went off track and buried themselves in the sand trap or hit the tire barrier or spun out. So it's like, if you just race consciously and smart, it's most likely going to end up in your favor.
Ryan Vargas, by the way, you can follow him on Twitter and catch him this weekend doing his thing in Austin, the Xfinity Series. And follow him on Twitter at @RyanVargas_23. By the way, we talk a lot of football on the show and free agency and all that good stuff. Are you a football fan? And if you are, what's your favorite team? You're not hearing me?
I can barely hear you.
Well, what happened?
In case you wanted to know, I'm at a race shop. We just started a race car. I don't know if you can hear it in the background.
We hear it, but it doesn't sound as loud as it normally would. But yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you barely.
Okay, all right. So we're in football free agency. What's your favorite football team?
Man, I'm sorry.
You can't hear me?
I feel horrible. Okay, go ahead and repeat that. I'm going to listen.
Okay, so what is your favorite football team, since we're in football free agency right now?
All right, so my family, my entire mom's side of the family came from Pittsburgh. So
okay.
I've kind of just inherited being a Steelers fan. My grandfather was, there we go, now the engine stopped. But that's how you know, cool. Live TV, race cars running in the background. That's how race shops are. But I kind of inherited being a Steelers fan. I watched Big Ben play and all that stuff. Definitely need to watch a little bit more football, but like I said, my grandfather, his whole room was like decked out. He had like those like fat heads, like posters and stuff. He had those of a lot of players. He had the I'm
impressed the grandfather has a fat head.
Oh,
that's impressive. Okay, that's hip for a grandfather to have a fat head. That's something that kids get, not normally, not guys like my age or older. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he had like a bunch of jerseys that were signed. He had a flip coin from the Super Bowl. He had like a mini a mini replica of like Heinz Field, so it was just super cool. He was a big Steelers fan all the way to the very end.
All right, so I got inquiring minds have to know. So I got to ask you, and you know what? I'm going to have the listeners, since we're going to have you on all the time, since you're a friend of the program now. I want to, the listeners, you guys can send in questions for Ryan on things that you may wonder about. So here's what I wonder about when you're in a race car for hours. So if you float an air biscuit, step on a duck, you know what I'm saying? Do you even smell it in the race car, or is because 200 miles an hour, it filters out quickly? I'm just wondering. Minds want to know: does a fart stay inside a race car?
No, you can't smell it. I have yet to fart in the car.
Come on,
I probably have.
Are you serious? You have never farted in the car?
I probably have. I don't know.
I've
I've never really thought about that.
I mean, if I get in that car, I'm probably going to take a dump in my pants because, you know, this is going 200 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just wondering because, you know, I like to play the fart game in the car. So, you know, the wife is in the car. I lock the windows and she's, you know, that's it. It's over. She's trying to hit the window. She's reaching over me. I'm blocking her like a right tackle and just keeping her away like a defensive end. And she's suffering and all that. You know, so, and it's two-handed thing because I got to block her and then block the sunroof too, because then she might reach for the sunroof also.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to
trap. Here's the thing too. We can never smell it because our helmet, we have a helmet blower that hooks up to our helmet to blow cool air. So even if it did smell, it'd be kind of filtered out.
Oh, okay. It'd be scented. I got you. I got you. Here you go. All right, my brother. Ryan, thank you, my man. We will catch up next week. Good luck in Austin, man. Kick some ass. We're going to get a top 10 finish, right? That's what
that's the plan. Right? We need it. I'm knocking on wood. I think if we keep having good runs, I'm going to have to be on the show every week. That's the thing. I'm not superstitious. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So
I figured, you know, you had a top 12. You were 12 this past week. I go, we got to talk to him again. I mean, you know, we got to bring him on and have some fun with this.
Absolutely. That was like a run too, so it was cool to have. You know,
I loved it, man. I loved it. I was so happy for you. I just wanted your teammate to finish, man, because it was a beautiful race for both of you, man.
It was going to be a massive day for our team. It was probably going to be. I mean, if we would have had some more things go our way in terms of because you could choose which line you want to be in. If we would have had more things go our way, it could have been a double top 10 for our team or double top 15.
Well, maybe we'll get it this week, my man. Maybe we'll
Hopefully,
get it this week.
Like I said, knock on wood.
Ryan, much love, safe in your driving, my man, and get that big win, man. Let's get it done. JD Motorsports, right?
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. Ryan Vargas. Follow him on Twitter. He is now part of the family, so you got to follow him at Ryan Vargas _23. Great young man. JD Motorsports, Chevrolet number 6 car. His partner Curry is in the number 4 car, if I'm correct. And by the way, Cham